Hello, I'd love to say welcome back, but this is my first video. So I thought what better first video to make than the overarching theme of my channel, which is spooky season. So these are my top 5 spooky season must plays. For number 5, I'm leaving the slot kind of open based on the fact that there are new games, lots of new games every year, especially new spooky season games. Everything else on this list is kind of a go-to for me that I'll come back to every year, but for this slot I'm going to honour a game that was released officially quite recently, out of early access. It's called No, I'm Not a Human, and if you haven't heard of it, I guess you've been living under a rock, but this is it. It's a beautifully eerie combination of dystopia, point and click, and body horror, reaching incredible heights of unsettling without too much actually going on. It puts you into a really interesting story where very little is explained, but as with a lot of psychological horror, you start to piece things together as you meet more people who come to your door. The objective is really to survive, but that's not so much presented to you at the beginning. It's more like you're witnessing mass hysteria during what looks like the end of the world. And you must choose whether or not to let strangers into your own home. Maybe they've been kicked out of their homes, maybe they're just walking around the streets void of purpose. This game does whatever it is doing incredibly well, and to me it is definitely one of the, if not the best in its genre. Go and explore all the different endings and see what you think. There are loads of different characters to meet, and you won't even meet half of them on your first playthrough. It's definitely somewhere near the top of the list for 2025. At number 4, we've got Phasmophobia. It's an all-rounder game that I will never stop playing, but the opportunity to play it on dark autumn nights, especially if you're alone, can't be missed. When you're playing with friends, it's easy to be less bothered by these rather organic jump scares and different scenarios, but for me, ghost hunting alone still gets to me. I'm a wimp, but I definitely embrace it in this game. It's especially worth getting on when the spooky season map updates are around. The Crimson Eye, of course, adds a bizarre feel to maps you supposedly knew inside out. Though I'm aware there isn't much Phasmophobia lore, I do love the variation of ghosts, and I love their different personalities. They still catch me out sometimes, and in addition, I also love looking into the folklore behind them when I'm not playing the game as well, which is nerdy. At number 3, we've got Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is a real mixture of classics. Terraria meets Harvest Moon to create an ultimate cozy farming and almost like a little life simulator. I love the amount of story and lore in the game, and though it isn't open world in a traditional sense, it does feel a bit like that. You can sort of choose how much you interact with the townsfolk and what your mini goals are. In the end though, you are a farmer and you're part of the community whether you like it or not. I love it though. I love interacting with different characters, completing missions for people, and generally always being challenged by something. Whether it is the rather frustrating fishing mechanics or the hidden parts of the map that open up gradually to keep you invested, there's lots to discover and plenty to please the addicts of the dark and rainy season like me. Number 2 is Potioncraft. I only discovered this quite recently, but I am absolutely addicted. I just finished the game maxing out the achievements, so I feel qualified enough to say it deserves to be on this spooky season list. It's an incredible marriage of point and click and a sort of map exploration, fueled by achievement progress, recipe book and trading mechanics that ultimately make the whole experience very rewarding. There isn't really much I can fault about it, and they've managed to make it feel much bigger than it is. Different potion bases and extra rooms you can add to your potion shop turn this into a really cool game. Once you get over the learning curve, it doesn't even feel too grindy either. You run your shop how you want to and supposedly try and keep your reputation up. It's usually not too hard to please people, but if you like a challenge, there are different modes for the game as well. Before I get to number 1, I have an honourable mention which I played the other day that definitely puts spooky in the title of this video. Dreadflat is a terrifying game set in an abandoned Chinese apartment block where things are not as they seem. Navigate the dark corridors and rundown rooms as part of a 3-day challenge where you've been paid to film the goings on as a skeptic. I can't promise you'll leave as a skeptic though. I had a blast with this indie horror game and it definitely got me a couple times. Number 1 is my all-time favourite spooky season game, Strange Horticulture / Strange Antiquities. It's become a series now. I made a habit of playing Strange Horticulture every autumn, and now they've given us another game, Strange Antiquities. Before I played it, I wondered how they might improve on something I loved as much as I loved Strange Horticulture, but they definitely did it. More areas to explore, more riddles, funky objects, magic, different books looking at thaumic energy, symbology and curses. It's so incredibly detailed and an absolute pleasure to play. I was quite sad when it was over, but I will definitely be playing it again soon. This and Strange Horticulture are perfect for sitting inside on a rainy day and pretending you're a botanist or a magical antique seller in the town of Undermere. There's lore, there are strange goings on, and you are tasked with deciding the fate of some characters and perhaps even the town. I couldn't recommend this game series enough. Well, that's my top 5 spooky season games for 2025. Obviously I would recommend you go check them all out. Stay tuned for another video, which will be my second. Or it won't. Maybe no one will watch this. Whatever. Bye bye.